All right, we're live.
I was just about to cuss. I was reading something. I was just about to cuss.
Why? Because we're live?
Right. I was looking down, reading something, and then you said, "Hey, we're live." I was just about to curse about that.
Wait, hold on. You're good.
We're talking about the box office numbers.
Gonna make Amanda happy.
Yeah, Amanda won.
We're waiting to see if anybody comes in. Oh, look, we have Robert in the house.
Hey, Robert.
The other Robert.
The other Robert.
What's that?
That's you.
Oh, duh. We're gonna wait till some people come in. If anyone wants to come in. Last minute Sunday edition. We're inviting people. We're going to talk about Solo. Go over the film, and we want to hear your opinion.
Robert, not Garcia.
Robert, not Garcia.
I don't know why I'm looking at the screen for, because I could just look here.
Well, it's easier to look at the screen. Unless you can't see it.
I can't see it. I'm blind. I'm blind as a bat. What's up, Robert? Couple more minutes. We'll start talking about Solo, the Star Wars story. Do you guys like that name?
No, I didn't like it when.
What would you change, Robert? Yes, Garcia. What would you change it to?
Well, the theme is everything is a Star Wars story now, right? All the standalones.
Yeah,
Ah.
I like anthology.
Did we know there was going to be an anthology?
That's what they were called originally. Could you guys hear us okay over there? What is Robert saying?
Or Robert Cholo?
Robert Cholo.
Robert Cholo? Because your hair's slicked back? Lisa, you like the name anthology or?
Yeah, I like anthology. I don't like a Star Wars story.
Or the Star Wars anthologies?
Why? Because it's a tongue twister?
Yeah, because it just.
Solo Star Wars story.
Solo. So yeah, see, I'm even getting tongue twisted. Solo, a Star Wars story. I don't know. It just didn't. It's no excitement in the title.
Well, what about we go Rogue One, a Star Wars story?
That sounds a little bit better. That one kind of rolls off a little bit better.
That one actually I liked. But this one, for some reason, it doesn't.
Because Solo, what about Han Solo, a Star Wars story? Oh, wait, look, Amanda's here. What is she saying? Can you guys hear us okay?
Yeah,
Give us a...
She said yeah.
Yeah, she's saying she can hear us.
Oh, she can? I'm blind from there. A couple more minutes, we'll go on live. Wait, we are live. We're just hanging out here on Sunday.
We'll start the talk.
What are you laughing at, Lisa? Huh?
You guys are like, we're gonna go live in a few minutes.
He just sprung it on me. He just said, "Hey, we're live."
And then he was like, "Oh, I was about to cut."
Oh,
There's a delay right here.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, if you go, that throws me off. There's a delay on there. That's why I'm late with the comments when we do the podcast.
Don't lie, dude.
Because when I pull up the YouTube,
okay. Better.
Yeah, that one is like in real time. But when I pull up the YouTube channel, the comments are delayed.
What time is it? Are we on time?
We're on time.
Yeah.
Inviting my two friends in here. How do we look, guys? How's my hair?
Slick back.
Slick back like a cholo?
Yeah.
The train. Pull out the comments here. Surprise Sunday edition. Where's Mojito at? I gave our own feed a thumbs down. All right, time to tweet this. Oh. We're at the now. All right, here we go. Labor Day weekend.
Memorial
Day weekend. Labor Day's in September.
Yeah, but I'm working right now.
It's close, but
we're remembering everything. Remember people we used to know that are no longer with us.
Amanda's saying the shelf is bright, and it is bright.
It is bright.
It's
nuclear.
What is it?
It's Jurassic Park. Wait, right here.
No.
What's this right here?
It's Rambo.
It's Rambo.
Oh, is it Rambo? Oh, there you go. A little better.
Yeah, I don't know what's up. Like my background always looks like,
super bright.
Yeah, it looks always super bright. Anyways, we have this little movie called Solo: A Star Wars Story. I don't think I'm gonna use these headphones. Sounds like I'm in a tin can.
Well, no, it looks kind of funny with you the only one wearing them.
Well, I'm a Lobot. That's what, you know what Lobot is?
Yeah.
Alright, guys, we're going to be talking about, what were we talking about? Solo: A Star Wars Story. Opened this weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. And we're going to go over some major spoilers and discussion and what we thought about the film and the characters. And the toys. I don't know. Are we going to talk about toys? Maybe. All things like that. So if you haven't seen the film and you don't want to be spoiled, tune out and come back later. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. To the far end, I got Robert Garcia, the one and only Nerd Report podcast host. Lisa Grayson in the middle.
Hey, what's up?
And I'm Louis Lecca here. I'm on your left side, my right. What? Yeah, that's the way you're looking at me. All right, guys, so we're going to talk about the film. Okay, so we're going to talk about Solo, the opening. The opening is different than the trilogy films because we don't get a crawl. We get a little bit of text. We get the Lucasfilm logo. We get the long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Mm-hmm. And we get told via text or that.
Like a little story.
Like a little story of what's going on at the galaxy in turmoil, and then it starts. What do you think about that, Robert?
I was this time I was prepared for it. Rogue One, we weren't really prepared for it. Remember when we saw it? So I was prepared for it. No crawl. I like that they just kind of give you a little bit of a heads up. This is where we're at in the galaxy, and it goes right into the movie.
Lisa, you like that?
Yeah, I like that.
Rogue One?
Well, no, yeah, it transitioned better than Rogue One, because Rogue One, it kind of just was like, Rogue One, and then whoosh, and then Solo kind of did the Lucasfilm logo, and then it did like the little story, so you kind of knew what was going on, so it kind of transitioned better, I think, than Rogue One, so it was a little better.
I think that's going to be the standard now, where we're going to get...
for the standalone?
Yeah, the standalone, kind of like a little bit of, where we're at, because there's a lot of confusion, especially with the casual fans. Like, where is the timeline here?
Right.
Especially, like my mom, she was at, during Rogue One, she was wondering where Rey was, because she's,
yeah.
So she's, a casual fan. So for the general public, I think that's a better way to go. We know what's up because we're hardcore. At least I don't think so. I think so. And then we're thrown into Corellia. We've heard about this place for a long time, I think. Mm-hmm. It's been the birthplace of Han Solo. It's kind of like what we would look post-apocalyptic on Earth terms, where like everything's messed up. The Empire's there; they're building their warships. We get, like you see in our trailer, we get the visuals of the Star Destroyer being constructed. Mm-hmm. We see a lot of industrial stuff going on, and then we get introduced to, and I may be wrong about this, but I'll ask you, Robert. We get introduced to Kira and Han, right? Han is the first person we see on that vehicle. And what do you think about that intro and Corellia?
It looks visually, it looks good.
Yeah,
it looks really good. I thought Ron Howard did a good job with kind of showing like the gritty part of a different planet, or Corellia that we've never seen before.
But was that Ron Howard? We don't know because the film's been filmed by 2 people.
From what
different directors.
From what I've read, I think 70% of it was reshot.
80, I heard.
Or was it that high? I think 80. So a lot of it was reshot. Now, yeah, that's the only thing is I don't know exactly what would be, Chris Miller and Phil Lord's part, and then what was Ron Howard's part. But from what we saw with Corellia, I mean, it looks really, really good. Even some of the visual effects, the CG stuff looked great. I have no issues with
little dark.
Yeah, I mean, but like as far as like the CG and the visual effects, I don't think I really had an issue with any of it, and I'm kind of like
a snob.
Kinda.
Lisa, you like the intro?
Yeah, I liked it. It showed kind of like a post-apocalyptic kind of world.
Well, that's what it would look like to us.
It kind of went along with what the little intro that they gave us, saying that Lady Proxima had control and was bringing in the kids to do her dirty deeds.
So we get which is our next thing is there's a Lady Proxima. Is that we get introduced to this creature. It looks they look a lot like the original trilogy, but we get introduced to this kind of like worm-looking thing, like a centipede, Lady Proxima, and she speaks English, which is kind of I prefer aliens speak something else, but especially in the Star Wars universe. But then Han becomes Han and does this whole thing with a fake thermal detonator.
That was kind of funny.
That was funny, right? With a rock. Would you like that?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. She tells me he just made a clicking noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a throwback to Return of the Jedi, thermal detonator. I liked it. And then from there, that's when we see the chase scene where there was the cameo. That was during the chase scene. I believe that was the cameo of Anthony Daniels.
Well, also, I think where Lady was it Proxima? Where she was, I think it's called the fertility idol was in there somewhere. There's a cat. There's a.
Yeah, I read about that.
I read somewhere. I didn't see it.
And the fertility idol is from Indiana Jones or Return of the Jedi. Jeez, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I missed it. The 2 times.
It was there. I didn't see it.
I missed it.
I'm sure it's there. What do you think of that entire scene?
The with Lady Proxima?
Yeah.
From the clicking of the...
Yeah, that was good. Very Indiana Jones.
I was laughing, and it kind of showed how Han is... He's sure of himself. Like, he's cocky kind of in a way, but he's not afraid to... Like, he's not afraid to... He could get himself out of situations. Like, in other words. Like,
yeah, he's Indiana Jones.
He can bluff, yeah. He's like a good bluffer.
He's a good Indiana Jones. Hey guys, if you're watching, make sure to share this video. We got almost 10 people watching. We'll probably double it up pretty soon as the stream keeps streaming. Yeah, I like that. There's a cool chase scene, and I'm trying to remember. I'm watching the film in my head right now. So we get that chase scene, and the next thing you know, it ends up in an Imperial port. Mm-hmm. Where they're trying to smuggle the what is it called the coaxium fuel, which is a new thing introduced into the Star Wars universe. I've never seen that before.
I don't think I've ever heard of it either. The coaxium, the hyperfuel.
The hyperfuel.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever. I don't recall reading it in some of the novels that I've read. Like the stuff prior to Disney buying Lucasfilm. So yeah, I don't know if I don't ever remember reading that. So that may be something that's new. But yeah, I don't recall the coaxium and the hyperfuel kind of thing.
Yeah, so we get the Imperial, it's like an Imperial border.
Yeah, and I think, and I posted it too when for my initial reaction when I saw Solo. I think it was a week ago. It reminded me of it kind of lended to like Nazi type of European.
Very Nazi.
Infiltration where they're controlling everything. You have to show, documentation papers for, to
Where's
pass
your
from
papers?
one side. Right. So that's what it reminded me of kind of like the galactic Nazi type rule, or the Nazi type rule under the Galactic Empire. So that's what I thought of it.
What do you think of that? The
It was very secure. Very secure, if you had something wrong, they would take you away type of thing. So it was kind of one of those things, if you go through there, you could die type of thing.
So you're there, Lady Proxima's goons are after Han and Kira. and they enter the facility where the Empire. You see a lot of stormtroopers like manhandling people, but one of her goons is like telling the stormtroopers what to do, which I was like, whoa, she has that much juice.
Yeah.
And then we get the scene.
You have to also say that the sunlight, because with those goons,
Oh yeah,
they had.
Oh
like
yeah, they don't like sunlight.
Yeah,
they
were
had like a shield that
like
went
sensitive.
over them.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's their alien thing there. It's like kind of nocturnal.
Yeah.
So we get that, and then they're trying to cross that border. There's an Imperial officer, female one, which is the only reason I'm saying she's female because the Empire used to be all males, right? Like there's always like this thing about the Empire is always like middle-aged white dudes, Nazis.
Yeah,
like,
it was, the officers, all the officers that we saw, like on the Star Destroyer and like the Executioner, they were all like
the Empire is usually from what I know. Now what we got is Empire does not allow aliens. They like always have to be humans. I think that's their undertone, kind of like racism. Type. Have you read that before?
Yeah, for the Empire.
Yeah, for the Empire.
Yeah.
So if we see an alien in the Empire, that'll be kind of like throwing that off.
Well, like officers, meaning like on the
do they
decks
use?
and stuff.
Grand Admiral Thrawn's an alien, right?
Grand Admiral Thrawn is an alien.
Yeah, he's an alien.
But like prior to that, but I'm referring to like all the movies. Yeah. I mean,
but I think I read in a book that that's like their undertone.
Because
like,
just up until recently, he just was recently included.
So they bribe. There's a Imperial officer there, and they're trying to cross. Where are they trying to cross to?
So they're trying to cross to get onto a ship in order to escape Corellia. That's basically what they want to do, is they want to leave the planet.
Okay, and then so they bribe the officer with the fuel, the coaxium hyper fuel. She grabs it. She does open the door.
She opens the door.
They run for it, but the Imperial. Two goons grab Kira before she's able to escape, and then that's when you see the dice. Han's dice, and then he's like,
in her hands.
In her hands, and then he's like, I'm gonna come back for you.
Right.
What do you think of that?
So he's, I could see at that point. Hey, the whole plot of the story up to that point is that he wants to escape with her. They want a better life somewhere. So he's, still in love. He's still smitten. Tells her, I'm gonna come back for you, no matter what. I'll be back, kind of thing. So.
Robert thought Doc Garcia on the chat is saying that it looked like LAX.
LAX. It's just as congested and as unorganized.
So then Han's trying to escape. So what does he do? We see this cool Imperial propaganda video.
Right.
And then he gets a smart idea to just join the Empire there.
Yeah. Well, he was looking for a way out of the situation.
Yeah.
So that was like, it was like nobody was like in the pathway, and it was just like a straight view for him. Yeah. So it kind of was like calling.
Yeah. So and his whole purpose is he goes up because he wants to be a pilot. So he presents himself that he wants to go. Yeah, he wants to be a pilot in the Imperial.
The officer asked him like, "So what's your name?" And he says Han, and he's like, "What's your
who's your people?"
Yeah, who's your people? It's like nobody.
Right.
So that the guy gives him the name Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Okay, that's it's kind of like a controversial scene because a lot of people are saying like, why would he keep an Imperial name if he hates the Empire? What do you guys think of that? Let's start with Lisa.
I would think it fits him though. Like it's kind of
because that's the way we know him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's kind of it just seemed like right. Like
like Robert, not Garcia.
Yeah. It just goes with them, regardless where it came from. It just kind of. I don't think he sees it as a bad thing. I think he sees it as a good thing of him moving forward, not moving backwards, kind of thing.
Yeah, I thought absolutely the name suits him, but it's one of those things where he gets the name and then he's like, okay, I'll keep it, kind of thing. Because I mean, even in A New Hope. Even the way he says it, Han Solo, Captain of the Millennium Falcon. So he's accepting of it. So I think he dug the name also.
And then comes my favorite part of the film, which like everyone says the beginning is clunky. I like the beginning the most. Where he tells the recruiter, I guess, he goes, I want to be the best pilot. We've seen that in the trailer, right?
Mhm.
And then he goes ahead and he says, you know, I want to be a pilot, and it's like as fast as I can, whatever. He goes, oh, you'll be pilot in no time.
Mhm.
And then the next scene it says 3 years later.
3 years
and
later.
he's just on a battlefield.
And he's still
But
he's a grunt.
Yeah, which the first time I saw it, I was under the impression that, you know, the Empire was just pulling his leg. Like that's what it is. That's what this the Empire is.
Just to get you
It's
to
BS.
enlist.
Yeah, to enlist. So yeah, you're gonna get what you want. And then,
Mhm.
but you said he got kicked out of flight.
He got kicked out of the, like, I guess the school, the academy, the fleet
Did
academy.
you get that too?
Yeah, no, he says it.
Oh, I didn't even get it.
He says I got kicked out because I couldn't follow orders.
Huh.
Yeah. So,
But what do you guys like better? My explanation?
Because even when he signs up, the guard says if you can follow orders, you'll be a pilot.
Yeah, but see, Empire lies. That's why I thought it was like. That's what I thought the entire point of the bottom saying.
Yeah, he says. I forgot who he says.
No,
it
no,
to,
no,
but
you're
he
right.
Says it. He says it. He's like, yeah, I got kicked out because I couldn't follow.
yeah,
orders."
I'm pretty sure he says it to Beckett, to Woody
Yeah.
Harrelson.
Yeah.
Okay, so he tells Beckett, yeah, I got kicked out of.
Could he be lying?
He could be lying.
Okay, so then he meets Woody Harrelson. They're in a battlefield trying to take over this planet, which
Right.
that is the most awesome thing. I think it's like World War I, World War II trenches with Imperials,
Mhm.
and they're kind of getting their butt whipped. That's just the resistance or whatever at that planet
Mhm.
is holding their own, and I love that because it looked like the Empire was. You know, first of all, they're not as powerful. They have struggles, right?
Right.
Even though they're a-holes, but I thought that was an interesting take on that. The visuals were awesome. I gotta say, I like those more, that battle scene, even though it was short, more than Rogue One.
Really?
Cause think about it, like, well, the Rogue One, when were the battles at the end?
The battles weren't till the end because we had
It was a space battle.
We had the simultaneous space
Ground battle
and then we
wise,
had
I think
the
it
ground
was.
Because I thought it was Rogue One was epic with the ground battle when the like the AT-AT kind of thing. I know it's different in Rogue One, but comes through, starts bursting through the trees.
But
And then you see them
what about
running.
that guy, that Imperial officer that goes, for the victory, and then he gets blown up?
Yeah,
That was cool.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Victory, Bob.
boom.
So I don't know if that was Ron Howard directing or
Miller and Lord.
Miller and Lord, because apparently they had more of a comedic take.
Right.
I didn't see too much slapstick in the film.
No, not a whole lot.
Not slapstick wise. Did you guys like that scene though? That he beats.
Well, I liked how they introduced Beckett, like how Han sees him for the first time, and he's all twirling his.
Yeah, because
guns and
Beckett's
everything.
acting. Yeah,
He's going-
Beckett's
it was
acting
that
like he's an
bad.
Imperial officer,
Right.
And Han immediately notices that you have holes in your outfit, which means that he stole from a.
He goes, "You're really lucky," or
someone that's dead.
Yeah.
So then Han threatens to, and guys, if I forget something, feel free to, Han threatens to, because Beckett's he figures out that Beckett's a scam artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's with the other people.
Yeah. Oh
Do you know
gosh.
their names?
Rio. I know one's Rio. Is the alien,
The alien.
with the. I like him. He's like one of my favorites.
I can't recall her name. Tandy Newton. I can't remember her
I
character's
can't
name.
remember her name.
But she's the love interest of.
Yeah, her and Beckett are pretty much partners.
So Han threatens to, and I'm looking at Harrison Ford's picture right there. It's behind the camera.
Oh.
So Han threatens to.
Yeah, basically
Expose him.
It threatens to expose him. Hey, I'm gonna if you don't let me join you guys, then the lieutenant would be interested in what you guys are.
So Beckett out Han's Han.
Yeah.
And calls the
Hey,
officer and
Lieutenant.
goes, hey, it's like.
Because he has on a captain's armor, so they
Yeah.
think he's a captain.
Oh,
So so that's why he calls over the lieutenant. Says, hey, you have a deserter here, And so, yeah, and then he wearing the captain's uniform or the captain's armor says, "Hey, and don't believe anything this guy says." So, believing he's a deserter, they throw him into the pit where they believe he's going to be eaten by a beast.
So Click by Vid is pointing out that it's Val is the name of.
Oh, okay.
One thing I will say about this film, it does have a lot of character. It does have a lot of characters, a lot of stuff like the lieutenant you just brought up that I didn't notice on. I've seen the film twice, and I can't grasp all the names and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So that's that. They grab Han. Did I miss anything? They grab Han.
No, believing he's a deserter. Yeah, they grab Han,
throw him in the pit,
and then they throw him in the pit.
They're gonna feed him to the beast. It's a Rancor beast.
I thought it was a Rancor beast.
Really?
I really did.
And it turns out to be
Chewie.
Chewbacca, and he's all muddy up and
looks mean,
and skinny kind of because he hasn't eaten in 6 days.
Right.
And him and Han get into a fight.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to eat Han, and Han's like, "No, I have an escape plan."
He speaks to him in Wookiee. So that's where Chewie kind of listens.
I thought was funny when he started speaking to him. Because we never actually heard him speak in Wookiee. He's always just like answering back to
Responds,
so it was kind of cool.
What do you guys think of that scene? I thought it was pretty cool.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was in line with what some of the Legends story was with Han rescuing Chewie for the most part.
But it was on Kashyyyk usually.
Yeah, the Legend story is it was on Kashyyyk where Han comes across Chewie and he's a slave, and Han frees him, and so Chewie has a life debt to Han Solo. That's why he sticks with him. But it's a little bit different. But it's still the basis of the story is Han frees Chewie.
Here's what's funny though. Growing up, we had that so many years of no Star Wars. We used to, like you said, Legends. Some of it was written, some of it wasn't. We and how the film actually followed what we thought was like Han Solo was an Imperial officer. We always thought that. We always, at one point, not officer, but he was in the
Empire. Yeah.
In the Empire, and that's why he knew the ins and outs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part where in the New Hope where he uses the Stormtrooper outfits. He knew exactly how to do that.
Right.
He knew exactly how the trash in the Empire Strikes Back works. You remember when he right before Boba Fett chases him?
Yeah.
He was stuck to the Star Destroyer. So we always had that idea. We always knew the thing about how he met Chewie, but I remember it was on Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
And then there was a life debt that Chewie had for Han, gave Han for saving his life.
Yeah.
But in the movie, it's different.
Yeah, it's more of a like a friendship.
It's more of a friendship.
Yeah,
right.
like where he's going along with Han because he wants to, not like a.
I guess it's kind of like the times
they're more
changed.
like their family.
Yeah, times change, so you don't want to make it so like Chewbacca's a slave or whatever.
Right.
Okay, so they handled that well. They meet up back with Woody Harrelson's character,
and they're now part of his
crew. They get on a ship, and it's hot in here, isn't it? No, it is.
Starting to get there.
So they get back on a ship, and they take off. Where do they go from there?
They're going to
or they're gonna do steal some more quaxium.
Yeah,
but like this is a big load.
Yeah, it's a big job, and it's for Dryden Voss. So that's
they meet with him.
Well, they're gonna go steal it.
They're gonna do
because the job is for Dryden Voss.
And that's the guy. That's Vision.
Yeah, basically.
Played by Paul Bettany.
So his ship kind of looks like something out of Jabba's palace.
It kind of does,
right?
Yeah.
And then Beckett gives Han the advice of do not talk to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't, but then he gets a tap on the shoulder, and it's Kira. Turns out that she's there.
You forgot the epic train scene.
Train scene's after this.
No, the train scene.
The train.
Because that's what leads him to have to
he has to go tell
Dryden Voss that they failed.
They failed.
Okay, talk about the train scene.
So the train scene, yeah, this is their first job. Well, this is Han and Chewie's first job with Beckett and Val and their crew. And their understanding is, well, it was Val who says, "Hey, does anybody else know about this, like this shipment or this load?" And Beckett says no. Ultimately, we find out, it was the what were they like?
There's some words. What I say? They're not bad guys. You think they kind of are?
They're kind of like not pirates in a way.
Yeah,
they try to steal the shipment from Beckett and his crew. I mean, ultimately, later we find out what their reasoning is, but. Yeah, the whole thing fails. Val is killed. What's the creature's name again?
Rio.
Rio's killed, and so
Jon Favreau's voicing that, I believe.
Oh, was he?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Correct us on the chat if he's not.
Yeah, and so ultimately, a couple of them lose their life, and Beckett says, "Well, now I have to go to Dryden Voss and tell him, hey, we failed. I'm gonna kind of beg for his life." And so that's where we arrive to his yacht, or it's kind of like a yacht, right? His spaceship,
yeah,
his ship,
his luxury.
Yeah, his luxury.
And that's where I could go back and say, we that's the part where Beckett tells him don't talk to anyone.
Yeah. So that's where we arrive.
But Kira's there,
right?
And then Han's happy to see her. It's been a long time, 4 years, right? 3 or 4 years. Yeah, because he was 3 years.
So it's been about 3 years.
3 years.
And this is where I started try to look for what's reshoots and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, the actress that plays Kira, what's her name?
From Game of Thrones, Emilia Clarke. Game of Thrones.
Her hair is real dark in some scenes, and then sometimes it's brown.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, so sometimes it's black and sometimes it's brown, and she explains to Han that she's pretty much working with...
She says she's working with Dryden Voss and, what's it called? Dawn.
Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn. She works for Dryden Voss. We don't get an explanation how she gets off Corellia. We never get that. So we don't know how exactly she gets off Corellia and what exactly is her relationship with Dryden Voss. We just know that...
Well, we could fill in the blanks.
Yeah, but we know that she works for him. She's like his lieutenant.
And she's got the symbol.
Yeah, on her wrist.
Tattooed on her.
Yeah.
And how does it look like?
Dude, I don't even...
This symbol right here.
Is that what it is?
No.
It doesn't look like
It's like a circle within a
circle. It looks like a circle and then a half circle.
A moon and a half.
But only the leaders have it. Like this.
Something like that. So, yeah, they basically beg for their life.
What's his name again?
Paul Bettany is Dryden Voss.
Dryden.
Dryden.
So he's got the scar on his face. Right when we get introduced to him, he's manhandling an imperial
one of the governors or mayors of,
which is probably like
a local
Tarkin,
politician. Yeah,
like a Moff Tarkin, and he's just killing him, right? So he's a badass. He's not a guy you want to be friends with. And then he does a deal with, what's the deal they do that they send Kira, Han.
So Beckett is basically saying, look, I know we screwed up, we owe you, I don't know how many credits or, basically up to like millions of dollars. So he says, give us a chance. I know where we can find some.
Well, doesn't Kira kind of does she say something about trying it a different way without killing? Was it with that scene or was it a different scene?
No, I think that it was that scene where
she kind of wanted like a peaceful.
Yeah, Dryden Voss was ready to kill all of them, and then she basically kind of squashes everything and says, no, I'm sure there's a different way we can work this out, and ultimately they come to the decision where they're able to find the coaxium, but it's raw. It's like raw coaxium, so it's very violent. It can blow up once it reaches a certain temperature. So that's where their next mission is extremely dangerous because they got to try to transport it back, get it like refined so that way it's a little bit more settled.
But they need a fast ship.
They need
They
a
need a
fast
ship, and Kyra knows where to find the ship.
So they had to meet up with
Ultimately, they meet up with Lando.
With Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
And what planet is he on?
I don't.
Oh, you know, I don't.
He's somewhere in the Lando system.
I can't remember what planet it is exactly where they find him, but yeah, they end up coming up on him, and it's kind of like an underground gambling hall kind of thing.
Correct.
There's droids fighting.
Yeah, there's like
gambling against it,
like MMA style battle to the death.
It's
with
underground
droids.
Vegas.
Yeah.
And then they Lando's playing Sabak,
Sabak.
and Han immediately just like, I could take him.
Mm-hmm.
Sits down, challenges Lando, and correct me if I'm wrong, because he BS's Lando. He basically, he introduces himself. He's like, so this is Sabak. What's the line Han before he sits down? He goes, so this is Sabak, and then Lando's like, Sabak, right?
Yes.
And then he goes.
I have a question.
No. And he goes, so tell me, Han. And he goes, Han.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
That was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So that's how he mispronounces his name in Empire Strikes Back.
And Empire Strikes Back.
All the time, right? There is that. They always call him Han or Han.
Yeah.
In the movie, so that's explained. And then he asks him that thing in the trailer where, tell me. I've heard a few things about
you.
I wanted to know if it was true. He goes, everything you've heard about me is true.
And then he has his glass.
Yeah.
And the little pinky sticking out.
He does, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Robert is saying it's unrefined coaxium. That's the word I was looking.
Oh.
Unrefined, yeah.
So basically, what happens is, they play the game. Han goes ahead and kind of like BS's that he has a real fast ship.
Right.
And then Han knowing that Lando himself owns a badass ship, the Millennium Falcon. I don't think he knows the name of the ship yet.
Right.
He mentions the ship. Lando takes the bait and goes, what kind of ship do you have? And then he says, oh, this kind of I don't know what kind of ship it is, but it's a fast ship, right? He goes, so they gamble against each other. The Millennium Falcon, Lando's ship for Han's ship, winner take all.
Mm-hmm.
Lando wins because he is cheating. Then
the card up the sleeve.
Yeah, he has the card up the sleeve thing. So then it ends, and then the weird part is, then Kira just goes ahead and asks Lando for the favor to use the Millennium Falcon. Is that what happened?
Yeah, well, they cut him in he wants 40%.
Oh, the entire...
Yeah.
Tells him about
Yeah, and I think
that's when Beckett starts talking to him.
Yeah. So Beckett negotiates, hey, you get 25% of our take, because he wants 40, but yeah, they negotiate like 25. Because I think he reduces it like by 5%, something like that. Right?
Yeah, because it turns out
later.
the Millennium Falcon's on the it's like it has those things they put on cars when they're getting impounded or whatever.
Boot.
Yeah, like it gets like
there's a spaceship boot on it.
Yeah. Too many parking tickets.
So they have to go through the Kessel, right, to get to the. What planet are they heading to now?
I forgot about the droid.
L3.
L3.
I want to forget about the droid.
I know, so do I, but you have to.
So this is where we're introduced.
Go for it.
To L3, which is Lando's droid, and she's
She's special.
Yeah.
My first impression was she's too human. Like,
yeah.
I felt like she was too human.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't laugh at it. She was trying to be funny. I couldn't laugh at it because it just was not. It didn't.
Because
didn't go with her at all.
You know, we're used to droids kind of like K2 from Rogue One, who was an Imperial droid. And then
was she trying to be like K2?
No, K2 was way better.
I mean, he was, he stuck to his protocol for the most part.
I wasn't big on K2 either.
C-3PO we're used to, they and then but R2D2 is and even BB-8 is, I mean,
I think BB-8 was kind of like a R2.
Are they kind of? I mean, if we understood what they were saying, like L3, would it kind of be the same personality? That's my question.
I always say the running joke with like C-3PO, because you could probably L3 and C-3PO are more comparable in my opinion, because they both talk. Is that the C-3PO was an obvious robot or droid, and we as an audience laughed at it that he took himself so serious, and opposed to L3 actually was like Johnny 5 where it's alive.
Yeah, but Johnny 5 I liked. I didn't like L3. Like Johnny 5 still knew he was a robot. Like L3 was acting like she wasn't a robot.
That's what I said.
Yeah, so she was just too
didn't like C-3PO want an oil bath?
Oh, well, he says, yeah, this oil bath's gonna feel so good.
So we get introduced to her, and she's kind of like...
She seems like she's, like, way up here compared to, like, the other droids, and she shouldn't be.
The droid is super feisty.
If she's acting more human, you
mean advanced?
Like, more advanced than the other droids, and she shouldn't be.
Well, why?
Because I'm thinking... If there's usually one technology, technology is always advancing.
No, not in Star Wars. Okay, so this is one thing. It depends what timeline of Star Wars.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't she?
No, because look, when George Lucas first, and this is my interpretation of it. Okay, when George Lucas first started Star Wars, one of the themes was the used galaxy. It had a history. So when you first get introduced to A New Hope, you see this technology that's like billions of years ahead of ours, right? But it's dusty, right?
It's huge.
So it's old, it's banged up, and you're like wondering, well, what's going on here? And what he tried to do, in my opinion, that did not succeed well, because people didn't realize this, because we've got the same complaint, is that when you watch the prequels, everything actually looks like it's ahead of its time compared to the original. And you got to ask yourself the question is like, well, what happened? Because does the technology get better as it goes? He goes, no, because the explanation for that was everything was prosperous, everything was new technology until the Empire got a hold of it, and then it became black and white, which is, if you look at the Empire, it's very gray. It's black and white and gray, which is black and white. Look at their ships, look at everything. That was the original Star Wars thing. I don't know if it's constantly changing, but for L3 to be more advanced than 3PO is believable to me. But it's just that the personality is just a little bit too
human.
Yeah.
She was like a person.
Yeah.
And also 3PO was a man in a suit, person in a suit. I wonder if this character was CG, so kind of... She
was green screened.
Okay.
Well, she had the suit on, so she had partial suit on.
Yeah.
So she was on set.
Yeah.
So she was on set, with, of course, part of it was green screen, but she had on, like the what is it? Those, those little dots for the, to add the effects later. But she was actually on set, interacting with the actors.
So they're heading to the spice mines.
Right. To get the unrefined coaxium.
But they go through Kessel.
Mm-hmm.
And Kessel turns out to be...
Well, no, they go to the mine first.
Well, they go to the mine.
They get the unrefined coaxium.
Don't they have to go through the Kessel first to
No.
get to the planet?
The Kessel is when they're trying to make it out quicker because the coaxium was about to...
But because it was unsettled.
Okay. Which I just realized that will be sent to the spice mines. C-3PO said that in the beginning of A New Hope.
And smashed into who knows what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so he knows about it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so they head over there. They get the coaxium. I'm all getting confused here. Star Wars nerd overload. Okay. This movie reads like an encyclopedia of Star Wars.
Right.
Doesn't it? Right? It's not that simple.
No.
Am I wrong?
It's a lot of information for the story. It goes into, it jumps around from, different planets.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of information.
So they get there and it's a slave mining colony.
Yeah, it's a slave mining camp.
Or camp, and then there's droids.
Different species there that are enslaved. There's Wookiees,
the droids are even enslaved because they have like
the restraining bolt.
L3. Okay, so dude, if you could reprogram the droids, why do they need a restraining bolt? Why don't they just reprogram them to be slaves?
Good question.
We're nerds. Okay, so L3 goes ahead and frees them.
Yeah, she starts to pop the restraining bolts off of all the droids.
Yeah, that were picking out the
she popped off one, and then I guess the droid goes, "What am I gonna do?" And she goes, "Well, I forgot what she said, but she told them to like free people or something."
It lends itself to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom when
that is right.
When Short Round frees the one kid, and then they take the keys and they all start unlocking all the chains off of each other. So it's kind of a throwback, or
so they start popping off the
they all start popping off the restraining bolts off of the different droids.
And then L3 like hits a switch and it takes the shackles off the other prisoners off.
Yeah.
So then they do a run, and then Han and Chewie, they're teamed up, but then Chewie goes ahead, and that seems pretty cool. But when they're battling in there, but Chewie goes ahead and sees another Wookiee.
It's some other
can't
Wookiees.
take it because they're being stunned.
They're being like prodded. Yeah.
So he goes ahead and separates from Han and helps them out, frees the other Wookiee, and they team up and they start kicking some butt.
Right.
What do you guys think of that? That's pretty cool. Right?
I thought it was cool because
and the Wookiee kind of looks like Chaka from Land of the Lost,
and a little bit like it reminded me of
the face.
I know what you're saying. 2010.
No,
2001.
It still kind of lended itself to the holiday special. With it was just a different variation of the Wookiees. They kind of look scary though. They didn't look as friendly as Chewie. But that's what it reminded me of was some of the different ways that the
like he seemed like a older Wookiee. I don't know. It just that's the way that the
well, he's been a slave for a long time.
But and then Han basically comes to the conclusion, hey, go take care of your people. It was nice knowing you. Take care, bye. Yeah. So
And then after that, you get a pretty good scene of everyone rushing towards the Millennium Falcon, and Lando's blasting, and Han is too. But as L3's exiting, trying to make her escape, she gets shot down.
Well, she's trying to be like, it's a rebellion.
Yeah.
And she's kind of just standing out in the open. So
she gets shot. Lando goes to save her. And she's gonna die, and then Lando's grabbing her from the ground, and her head pops out.
It was the like half of the didn't that look awkward? I thought it was good. It was good. Like he's trying to drag her away, and I mean she's so damaged that she basically like comes apart.
Yeah. And then he gets.
You have to think too the relationship he had with her. So it's he's been with her for a long time. So
let's keep it family friendly.
No, I'm not talking about what everyone else is talking about. I'm talking about more like family. Like that's my partner.
It's his Lobot before there was Lobot.
Yeah, so kind of like
that's worse.
Like it's part.
No, but Lobot's like his boy, his buddy, his dedicated friend,
best friend type of thing.
So Lando gets shot, and Han goes and helps him. Yeah. They get in the Millennium Falcon.
Well, ultimately, Chewie comes back. We find that Chewie does come back, helps load up the coaxium, and then actually picks up Lando and L3, carries them into the Millennium Falcon, and then they're off. And that's where they run into some more trouble, because now the coaxium is unstable. So they got to try to get out of there. Get it taken care of as soon as they can, and so they're kind of lost because they don't know how to get out until they come up with the idea. Hey, L3 has the navigation system in her,
the best navigation.
Yeah, so we're basically gonna gut her and throw it into the Millennium Falcon
because she didn't want to be a slave, so now she is.
Pretty much, she's a slave to the ship. So now she's part of the ship, the navigation for the ship.
And she helps them go navigate through the castle.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah. I mean, it that sequence was pretty good.
Well, first of all, they meet a blockade,
yeah,
which was awesome. All of a sudden, you see a
And Han's like, they're not gonna send it. You see
yeah.
them.
Then you see all the TIE fighters coming at him. So that lends itself a little bit to some of the old Star Wars with the music and everything.
But Robert, how many TIE fighters fit in a Star Destroyer?
I don't know.
There seems to only be like a few in each one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They only sent out maybe 7 or 8 of them.
Maybe the budget. Like,
well, in the Last Jedi, didn't they kind of show like some TIE fighters in?
Oh, like in the
Jedi?
hangar?
No, not the Last Jedi, the Force Awakens.
In the Force Awakens, we
yeah,
saw
but those
them in the
are
hangar.
not Empire.
Yeah, those are Resistance. Or
That's
I'm sorry, not
Resistance.
Resistance.
Yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting.
It's yeah,
But they should be similar.
could be similar. Yeah.
So, man, this is a complicated. There's a lot of
First
stuff.
Order, I'm sorry,
a lot of stuff
Resistance.
happened in this film.
So, yeah. So basically, we know that they make the Kessel Run, but I thought it.
But they use the coaxium boost.
Yeah, they have to do a little bit of a coaxium boost to take just a little bit, put it
and
like
they
in the
meet
fuel system.
they meet intergalactic space squid.
Yeah, and what the best part of that whole thing was, okay, here we go, and then the Millennium Falcon shuts down. Yeah, and then it just kind of gets sucked back in, and then it kicks in, and they escape, which was really good. I thought it was great. I thought it was fun. So.
Okay, so where do they go back?
So now,
I'm out of notes.
so now they do land at the
a beach planet.
yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know the name of that
The
planet.
planet Honolulu.
Yeah.
They crash land in there, actually.
I actually like that planet because it was when they panned.
And Emphas Ness is back.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the big reveal there? Like,
So it's ultimately, I mean, she looks like a teenager.
well, she takes off her mask.
Yeah.
And it's a 16-year-old girl. Basically, she talks about how there were people that were enslaved, and that the coaxium was stolen from, and then if they spoke out, their tongues got cut off. Is
Yeah,
that what
so
I got
yeah,
on it?
that's basically what it was. Click my vid says really quick. She's now Bespin on the Nava computer in Empire Strikes Back, the Lando system. And then
Bespin is not. Bespin's is a region.
yeah, but it's saying that that it could be she's the Nava computer in for the Lando system.
Oh, he took
So did he
Her-
take it?
take
Did he
her
take
out
her
of-
out?
of
There's a lot of stuff that happened. We'll get into that
Yeah,
in
we
a
can
bit,
get into
guys.
that.
Stick around because we're after this we're gonna get into like, where the saga could go and stuff like that. But we're just like recapping the film almost blow by blow, which now looks like a lot of stuff happened.
Full spoiler.
Yeah. So there's this reveal about Emphas Nest, and
she pulls the mask off, and I was like, "What?" Because with the mask on and the voice and everything, she was like,
Yeah.
it's a cool character. It was like, whoa, and then she
you
pulls
didn't think
it-
she was cool without the mask?
No, because it was like, really? That's who's underneath that mask.
So it reminds you that scene is like, Dr. Evil, we've cloned you.
Yeah.
And then he comes out, like you see the shadow.
The
from
shadow.
It's all big, and he's like, and then when they open the gates, it's just little.
It's mini me.
But the choreography was good with the fight. It was very believable.
Yeah. Yeah, so ultimately that's where they come into this is where I had a little bit of an issue with the movie. Not that saying that the movie's bad, but just the story and the origin of Han Solo and what his ideas or ideologies would be, like in his head. He's all about money, getting whatever
But
he can.
hold on. Is that like at the end? We're gonna talk about.
No. Yeah, we're not jumping there yet.
Okay.
But ultimately she explains to them, hey, look, this fuel was for, to help my people. And, so they're like, almost kind of like, maybe they're a little bit of an indigenous tribe kind of thing. So it was like a resource for her people.
Yes.
And now the Empire, or not it could be the Empire, but, now you have, different entities trying to steal this resource that they use, that they need to survive. So now you have, what is it, Crimson Dawn, which is kind of like a gangster or gang, like an organized crime. That's what it is. Stealing the resource, and so she's pleading with them like, hey, this is why I'm after it, to help my people. So this is where they come to, are we going to help them? Are we going to pay off our debt? What are we going to do, kind of thing. And ultimately, Han comes up with the idea, well, let's, try to fake them out so that way they can keep their...
But that's not said. That's not said during that moment.
Right.
That's something they plan later on when they go to... You discover that later on when they're on the...
Once they're on the
shuttle, the ship or whatever, the mobile bar.
Yeah.
There was a funny scene where they're
only one?
Where they're well, in that scene but when they're standing off, and Han goes, do you see that ship over there?
Yeah, we see that in the trailer. Yeah, and Lando just takes off.
Lando takes off. That's awesome.
That's Star Wars.
That is like a Lando move, I would believe.
And he kind of like steps back after that.
Yeah,
it was kind of. I thought that
that was really good. Lando just takes off like, I'm out of here. So yeah, ultimately they go to Dryden Voss. It's Lando, Chewbacca, and
no Lando.
I'm sorry, not Lando.
Kira. Han, Kira,
and Chewie.
Chewbacca.
They all go to Dryden Voss to go, deliver the coaxium.
And they get separated from Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, because they have different beliefs on how to take care of this.
Blah, blah, blah.
So yeah, Woody Harrelson says,
"Man,
hey,
this movie has a lot of stuff going on."
And he does tell him, "Hey, there's this big shot gangster, Tatooine."
Yeah. So they foreshadow Jabba the Hutt before.
Yeah, talking about Jabba the Hutt. But so they go to deliver it, and that's where it gets a little different.
So someone informs him that the coaxial is fake. Coaxium.
Yeah.
And then also that Kira has feelings for Han, I guess, right?
So, yeah, so I mean, ultimately it comes down to, Dryden Voss finds out that they're trying to fake him out.
Yeah.
So he discovers, they're going to try to fake him out. Kira has feelings for Han, which I guess that got him upset too. I mean, because
he's jealous.
Yeah, he's jealous that she that the person that he claims that he trusts is turning her back on him. So yeah, that's where basically the climax of what we see, where Beckett ultimately comes in, and then it's getting a little cloudy for me. So is Beckett gone?
Beckett is gone, but he's double crossing Han.
Right.
That's a big reveal because he tells him
he comes back.
Yeah, he comes back later after. What's the name of the Vision guy?
Oh,
Dryden Voss.
Dryden Voss is under the impression that the coaxium is the fake one.
Right.
So he makes Han look at open it, and
and
it's actually the real one.
Grab it.
It's actually the real, yeah.
Where it gets muddy for me though is when they go back to the desert planet. Oh no, because it's a trick. Yeah, they trick they're trying to steal it back. So Voss sends back his goons to grab the real coaxium, and the barrels are fake.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, we forgot to mention when the I don't know what her name is, the pirate with the red hair. And
that's in Enfys Nest.
Her crew starts pulling off her mask, and they start
one of them's David Warwick.
Yeah,
Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis,
who was in Willow with.
It's actually the same character from episode 1.
And then one of the aliens.
Is it?
Yeah, it's confirmed as the same. He's playing the same character as episode 1.
Really, from Phantom Menace?
Yeah, from Phantom Menace.
Nice.
And then one of the aliens looked like the same alien that
There's
was
an
in
alien
Rogue
with them
One.
that looks like one of the aliens in Rogue One.
Yeah.
The one, you know which one, right?
Yeah.
Working with Sal Guerrero.
Yeah. The one.
Yeah.
There you go. So there's a big reveal there. There's a fight with Voss and Han, right? But then Kira takes out a sword, pretends she's gonna kill Han, and then turns the sword on.
He says something about I forgot what he said to him. He said something like to the effect of like I don't know what it was, like you told me to do this, and then that's when we find out that the coaxium's actually there, and then that he had tricked him, his goons that
Down
were
at the beach.
down at the beach. I
Mhm.
forgot what he says though. Boom. So then that's when the fight starts to erupt.
Robert says the name of Warwick Davis is Wessel?
Weasel?
Weasel? Is that what it is?
I don't remember the name.
I don't remember. I used to be really into episode 1, but I haven't done. There is a scene though where it's mentioned that Woody Harrelson's character, damn, why am I forgetting it? Beckett actually killed Ura Singh.
Oh, really?
Ura Singh is the I want to say redheaded bounty hunter you briefly see in episode 1 overlooking the pod race. And for a long time, she has like a thing sticking out of her head. She's bald, I think, partially too. For a long time, they thought she was Boba Fett.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking. Yeah.
All right. So Kira ends up killing Voss,
Mm-hmm.
and what's the spiel she tells Han after?
Well, so she kills him. She kills Dryden Voss. And I think ultimately she kills him because she knows that he's going to kill her. Like, the trust is gone. He's going to probably kill her after he takes care of everybody else. But so she kills Dryden Voss. Han says, "Hey, let's go. You know, this is our opportunity for us to be together. We can leave together." And so she tells him, "Okay, go. I'll be right behind you. Take it back. Take the coaxium, down to the people who you're going to give it to, and I'm right behind you." So Han gets in the elevator, him and Chewie, and they leave.
Well,
and then,
no, it's just him because Chewie went with Beckett.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chewie took off with Beckett, yeah.
Yeah, because Beckett actually
stole the
made Chewie carry the...
I'm sorry.
So he's holding Chewie hostage, and Chewie's holding the coaxial.
So Han is going down the elevator
to
rescue
Chewie.
Yeah, because, now, Dryden Voss
Let's
is dead.
finish that. He faces him again, Beckett.
Mm-hmm.
They get into some spiel, like Beckett's about to shoot him, right?
Like the Western
and as he's talking, they got the Western scene. As he's talking, Han whacks him.
So yeah,
Han shoots first.
You see Beckett, his hands going to his gun, doesn't even pull it out. It just goes to the kind of the trigger, like he's getting ready to draw out on him, and then Han just shoots him.
He goes, "Yes, I bet you would."
Yeah,
whatever the type.
And then shoots him, and then ultimately, Beckett dies, and so he tells him it was nothing personal, it was all just business.
So that's where Han gets the idea of always shooting first with Greedo.
Right.
So
that's what I would say.
That's a good thing because now we know if Disney would actually get we're up to Disney, they would give us the original editions of the films.
Maybe.
Because Han shoots first.
Yeah. Maybe.
I think. All right, so after that, and then we'll talk about the reveal, the big cameo. After that, Han and Chewie take off. Right? Am I missing anything?
No,
and they
go.
Wait, hold on. Oh no! We're not going to talk about that scene. We're not going to talk about that scene.
That's after the scene, so you got to let them know that's we're skipping.
We're skipping a scene because we're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it.
And then Han and Chewie head over to Lando.
Mm-hmm.
Right after that,
so they give the coaxium to her name,
Kira.
No.
The Enfys Nest.
Yeah, they give the coaxium to them, and she in turn gives him a little, like a vial, kind of like a thank you.
She was like, "Do you want to join us?" And he was like, "Nah."
Yeah.
Maybe you'll change your mind. He's like, "No."
Right. Yeah. She asked him. Yeah.
She asked him to join a rebellion.
Yeah.
Because that coaxial is going to actually help the rebellion.
And yeah, he says no, so she gives him a little thank you. He's off to go meet up with Lando because he wants the Millennium Falcon.
Well, he knows he lied.
She
he knows.
with me.
Yeah. So they do it again. They hug in the beginning when Lando sees him, and Han
steals his
card rig thing
from his sleeve.
Yeah. So this time Han wins. They take the Millennium Falcon. And before we get to the big spoilers, that's basically the end of the film.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, but then we're gonna go back to Kira. So it's because that's the big reveal in the film. Okay, so did you notice that the beginning of the planet where Lando was, that was actually from the teaser, a video taken from the teaser of Rogue One? Did you ever go to Celebration?
Yeah.
Did you see the teaser of Rogue One there?
Yeah.
Okay, if you look at that teaser and it was never officially released, you look, it's like looking down at a forest planet.
Right.
And there's a bunch of birds.
And
they actually took that scene, which was never used officially in the movie,
mm-hmm.
and put it in Han Solo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You could see that video.
That Rogue One teaser. Yeah, that
was a great teaser. When you see the Obi-Wan talking.
That's what I say. Yeah, that's when Obi-Wan's saying the Jedi, you know.
For over 1,000 generations.
Right. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
No, because I watched the teaser a million times, so I was like, "Oh, that's from Rogue One."
I would have put that teaser out because that's
a great teaser.
That's a great teaser.
Anyways, back to Kira. She closes the door on Han.
Mm-hmm.
She takes the ring that looks like.
Well, you think she's gonna grab the jewels that she said she was kind of gonna get so that they can run away, but she doesn't. She kind of goes up to Drayden, boss, and grabs the ring that has that it's same exact symbol as she has tattooed on her, and she grabs the ring. She goes up to like this computer. I guess it's a computer,
like the panel,
and it has the exact same symbol, and she puts the ring in there, and so then the screen pops up. So you guys can explain.
Okay, so a screen pops up, and the Emperor kidding. A guy
that's kind of how I that's who I thought it was, but it didn't sound like him. So I was like, no, it's not him. It's
so a cloaked figure comes out. You know, you see him sitting, and it's Darth Maul.
No, now it's Maul.
It's not Darth?
He's no longer a Sith.
That wasn't official in the film, though.
Yeah, it's just Maul now.
Did he call himself Maul in the film?
No,
they didn't use the word.
Because even when they do the end credits, it's only titled as Maul, played by Ray Park. So
Ray Park's
remember,
back.
in Rebels, he's no longer a Sith.
Yeah, he hates the Sith.
Yeah, he hates the Sith, so he's no longer a Darth. So he's no longer a Sith. So now he's just Maul. So that time frame with at the end of Solo is coinciding with the time frame of Rebels. So this is before he meets up with Obi-Wan again in Rebels.
So I'm looking at his
right. Yeah, I'm
looking at his waist because he was cut in two, and he does have a support.
Different. Yeah, it's different than what we've seen from Phantom Menace, and it coincides with Rebels.
So he tells Kira, don't fail me again, Captain Nita. I mean, Captain Kira. And he busts out with his lightsaber.
Yeah.
And it's a different lightsaber.
Right.
Is it double-bladed?
Yeah, it is.
I don't remember.
I remember paying attention because you had asked that before.
Okay, so the lightsaber has its handle, and then it has this...
like weird...
Yeah, like a curve. On there, and Darth Maul's back. And...
So, ultimately we find out Maul is the leader of... Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn, which makes sense.
Yeah, so he's the leader of the organized crime group Crimson Dawn, which Dryden Voss worked for him. So that's why he said our superior or our leader is not very forgiving. Initially, when Beckett goes back, like initially in the beginning of the movie, he says he's not so forgiving, and so that's why he wanted to kill him.
So we know Han's never gonna see Maul, and if he does, that would be
that'd be horrible.
That'd be a content issue because Han says he's never seen an energy field that controls everything,
right?
And he's never seen a lightsaber, right?
Yeah, because he acts like he never has. From A New Hope.
All right, guys, there it is. We went through the entire film.
What did you guys think about Maul?
So the first time we saw him, we saw it at the ArcLight Theater in Hollywood, and he looked kind of like a cartoon. But then the second time we saw him at the IMAX Chinese theater, he looked better. What do you think?
I saw it at the IMAX in Burbank. So, he looked good. He looked fine. I didn't have any issues with it. I have issues with him showing up in the movie because, what I told you is it just makes it smaller. To me, it makes the Star Wars universe smaller. So Maul is just a few degrees from Solo now.
Well,
so they're just,
I'll tell you, why,
they're. It's just, it's too small for me.
Well, okay. So, what do you think the way he looked?
I thought, like, when I first saw him, I was like, "There's something off." He was like off.
Well, he's been cut in two.
Well, that, but then he
when
looked
cut in
kinda,
two, look
he
as
looked,
good you will not.
He looked kind of ragged though too, like
10-year older Ray Park.
No, he looked like 20-year older.
I thought
Not Ray
I thought
Park,
he looked
but the
great.
makeup, like Ray.
Oh,
not,
the makeup. Well, maybe
makeup, not Ray Park, but the makeup.
Well,
like I don't know, something was off about it.
It could be because Maul kind of lives like a nomad life in a way. I mean, leading up from what we saw in Rebels. I mean, yeah, he's a crime lord now, but yeah, just not. Yeah.
Like, he doesn't seem like someone that...
Well, he's not at his prime anymore when
Yeah.
he was in Phantom Menace.
Like, he doesn't seem as menacing. Maybe,
Really?
Yeah, like, for me, he didn't. Like, the first time. But the second time I saw it, then I was like, okay, yeah, he does. But the first time, I don't know. For some odd reason, it was just like something was off.
Well, Ray Park claims he filmed that a year ago.
Oh, a year ago? Oh, wow.
Okay, so back to your thing. You said that it makes the universe smaller. I disagree, because here's what's going to happen. Well, because the cartoon, we saw the cartoon, which I don't watch. We know Obi-Wan fights Maul again, right?
In Rebels, yeah.
Okay,
that was like
you're forgetting something.
The third to last episode.
Chewie knows Obi-Wan.
Right.
Maul hates
Or does he know
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan? He knows
I mean,
Yoda.
he knows... No.
Chewie knows Yoda.
Chewie knows...
Yoda.
Sorry, dude. No, he knows Obi-Wan. But he also knows Yoda. He knows Obi-Wan, though, because he goes... Chewbacca hears first mate on a ship. Remember when they're in the bar?
Mm-hmm.
And then they sit down and meet Han. Obi-Wan meets Han after. So, what if Maul goes after Obi-Wan?
Right, in Rebels, which happens.
And then we know Han's going to Tatooine because
Yeah.
they mentioned Jabba the Hutt.
Right.
They don't mention Jabba the Hutt. They just say a big time gangster.
Yeah, big gangster.
So that's where
on
they probably
Tatooine.
bump into each other.
But what would Obi-Wan have to do with Jabba?
Nothing, but it makes Han going to Tatooine. Han goes to Tatooine, somehow bumps into Chewbacca.
You mean Obi-Wan? See, because this is what I think too. Tatooine is kind of like a port where people kind of, seedy characters hang out. Hey, can you smuggle this? Can you smuggle that? So I think Tatooine is could be one of those areas where it's kind of like a well-known area. If you want to be a smuggler, you want to ship cargo that you don't want detected, that kind of thing. So maybe Obi-Wan kind of hangs out in those areas. I mean,
he's overlooking Luke,
right? But just in passing,
to have a couple drinks.
Right. People tend to meet each other, know each other, that kind of thing. It'd be one of those things where he comes in contact with Chewbacca.
Well, we know that...
even Yoda could... No. Well, is Yoda in still communication with Obi-Wan at all?
He's got to be.
And
teaching him the invisibility trick.
Right. So is there any way that, they're still in possible contact? Chewbacca is, around Tatooine. So there's that.
So where do we... There's that. Where do you think we go from now? Because there's a set of 3 movies. Han may have... Aaron Eckhart...
His name...
What's his name?
Two-Face.
No. Alden.
I can't even pronounce.
Aaron, right?
Yeah, that's
get
it.
Tongue twisted.
So do we...
Alden. Okay, so let's just flat out. Alden Ehrenreich was not bad.
No, not at all.
In this film.
Nope.
No.
He was
at
pretty
all.
good in it. Yeah.
But he wasn't. He was Han Solo, but he wasn't Harrison Ford Han Solo, in my opinion.
He overcompensated, I think, at the beginning.
And that's when it wasn't. That's when it didn't work.
At the beginning of the film, but then I noticed, like,
when
toward the end,
when he got comfortable, making his own,
it was starting to be more natural. Like at the beginning, you could tell, like, he was overacting.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say it, and then Robert, and then Lisa. Yeah, so he was not the problem with the film. The effects weren't the problem with the film.
No.
The action. Sometimes there was a lot of action. The train scene was good. The Imperial trenches were awesome to look at, but sometimes the action was just there, and I was like, just there. Kessel Run wasn't. It was okay. That's the thing. It was just okay. The emotion was okay. I think sometimes the Star Wars movies nowadays they hold back on the emotion. The soundtrack was okay. But overall, the movie was fun to me. I've seen it twice. I liked it the second time more.
I did too. I noticed that. I
Yeah.
liked it the second time. I liked it a little bit more.
Maybe because there's a lot of things going on. But definitely Aaron Height. Alden Height.
Yeah.
Was not the weak point of the film.
No, I don't think so at all.
L3 was the worst part of the film. But, to be fair, she wasn't in it that much.
No.
Lando was great.
Lando was awesome.
Kira was great.
Brayden, I don't know about. He was kind of.
He wasn't that much in the movie.
No, he wasn't that much in the movie, and I didn't feel like you knew that he was like a mob boss kind of thing, but I felt like there was no like real threat coming from him for something.
The designs were great. It felt like Star Wars. But it didn't feel special like Star Wars should feel, which is something big, because Star Wars didn't feel that. It felt special. I don't know. It's not fair. I think Star Wars needs to be treated.
It didn't feel like an event.
Yeah, because okay, so I'm sorry. These are regular films, right? These are big movies, and Star Wars is somewhere like always has to be like in a different. It's the heavyweight division. You know, it's like, you know, no matter, it just has to feel a little bit more. And what do you think, Robert?
Yeah, the movie's not bad. It's fun. It's a popcorn movie. Out of all the Star Wars movies,
it's not bad.
It feels more of like a popcorn movie. It's fun. It's just not an event movie. It didn't give me that feel of an event movie. Maybe because we just got The Last Jedi about 5 months ago. But yeah, we got Last Jedi maybe about 5.5, 6 months ago. So there wasn't the build up to another Star Wars movie like we do annually or every other year.
Oh. So Amanda Gonzalez from Nerd Report Podcast says maybe it didn't feel like an event because it's too soon. Would it have been different later this year? Nope, because the Marvel films are once every other week. Think about it. Think about this. We had Black Panther. Okay? Which that film was written well, done well, produced well, and well thought of. Right? No one could deny that. Then a few weeks later, we literally had Infinity War.
Yeah.
Same thing. Well planned, blah, blah, blah. Then 2 weeks after Infinity War, we had another Marvel film, and I don't care what anyone says, it's not attached to the MCU, but it's basically the same thing, which is Deadpool.
Yeah.
But it's well, again, too. So it's well written, it's well marinated, okay? Okay, so I was having this discussion with my friend, too. Marvel is not my favorite thing, but they're pulling characters from the mythos, different characters. Black Panther, Tony Stark, Captain America, Thanos, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, a lot of stuff. Star Wars has comics, has years of characters. But what are they doing? They're pulling Boba Fett films. We're gonna make a standalone Boba Fett film. Why? Bring in another character. They're making Han Solo films. Young Han Solo. Well, Han Solo was young already in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a knock on the movie being bad. It's a good movie. And what else? They announced a Boba Fett movie, that Obi-Wan movie. We already had Obi-Wan movies. It was called the prequels, and a lot of the original. So they keep pulling from the same characters. We're like, did you think Han Solo was gonna die in this movie?
Oh no.
Did you think Han Solo was gonna die in this
No,
movie?
because you already
Right.
know kind of when he dies. So it's like,
Yeah. So, and it was everything we knew. So it's not like the reason it didn't. That's why it doesn't feel. I mean, I could have another Star Wars movie next week if they said, "Oh, by the way, Old Republic." All right, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? And then build it up. It's not. There's no such thing as Star Wars fatigue. There's no such thing as a comic book fatigue, but there is such thing as mediocre writing fatigue. I think. What do you think, Robert?
Yeah, what this movie had against it as well was the history of Han Solo, the history of Chewbacca, their relationship, and like I said, with so many legend stories and novels and comic books,
our imagination.
Yeah, it's hard for you know. I think a lot of people are still going to compare it, even though you say you're not, but you're still going to compare it to a lot of the other stuff you've read or a lot of the other things you've seen. Like I said, old novels, old books, which now, of course, is legends. I mean, but that can be said for a lot of books or comic books that came out after in the timeline after Return of the Jedi, where we had Luke getting married and having kids and all these things, but. Yeah, I just for me this movie just didn't feel like an event movie, and in my thought too, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. So ultimately, what is Han Solo's? Why is he? What makes him Han Solo? So was it because of the girl? Was it because he was in love with her, and so that's what shaped him into becoming? Ultimately what we see in Star Wars: A New Hope.
Maybe because like after 5 minutes of Emilia Clarke, I was in love.
Or is it because he did he do all this because he was in love with a girl, or did he become Han Solo because he just wants to make money and look out for himself?
Did you feel it was a little bit too goody-goody in the movie?
Yes. That's
okay.
Not Han Solo.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this, okay? Everyone in the chat, do you agree with me? The first time we got introduced to Han Solo, he didn't care about droids, right? He rolled his eyes at C-3PO,
right?
So hints of he's kind of racist, right? In a way, right? He's definitely cocky, right? He gambles. He's a womanizer.
Yes.
He because there's deleted scenes where he's like flirting with the twins, which those twins were mentioned in the movie. Okay. He is sexist, big time.
So
if we could, what is it? If we can't afford any more women advice or whatever he says in A New Hope.
Yeah.
So he's.
Here's what Han Solo's an asshole.
Yeah,
he
Han
is.
Solo is Al Bundy.
Yes, for the most part,
but with skill.
Right. He's sexist. He is a womanizer. He's only after money. He's a jerk. That's the way he came across in A New Hope. Well, in Star Wars, that's the way he came across.
And in Empire a little.
Yeah. Even in Empire, he's taunting Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want me to stay? Just say it. You want me kind of thing. So Han Solo's a jerk. But with this movie, I think they just trying to make him feel or seem like a little too good so early on. I mean, if we're looking back at a young Han Solo, I would think a younger Han Solo would be even more of a jerk. I think the guy would be worse. Yeah. That's the way I would think of him. I don't think Solo is just this good-natured guy that ultimately just wants to help everybody. I think Solo's just out for himself. Han's totally out for himself. The only reason he goes back in A New Hope is because Chewbacca makes him go back in the original Star Wars. That's just my thought about early Han Solo.
Also, you gotta remember when the original film was made. It was made in the 70s. In the 70s, there was no politically correctness.
No politically correctness.
Yeah.
That's why every pilot...
Porkins is a fat dude.
And he's kind of... Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. That's what it was.
I remember his name. I hate to say it. But
Yeah, Porkins. Come on, Porkins, the fat dude? Come on. The fat pilot? I mean, you know...
I was just laughing. I was like, did I hear it right?
Yeah, the original Star Wars is... Yeah, it's somewhat politically incorrect. It's a different era. It's a different time. You know, so... Yeah, it's... The movies now are you know, trying to gain a wider fan base and try to be open to everybody, and I get it. But it didn't have the characteristics of a Han Solo that I would think would be young.
Okay, so we actually came back and we watched Han Solo scenes after the film, and it's different.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's a cool movie. It's a cool Han Solo, but it's not Harrison Ford's Han Solo.
It's not the Han Solo that we know from A New Hope. That's an established character. An established character with certain character traits. If you take that Han Solo, who's supposed to be what, like in his 30s at that point, right? In A New Hope, he's supposed to be roughly around.
This film takes about 10 years before that.
It's about 10 years before that. So, yeah, I the two characters we see in these movies, like, to me, just don't.
They're not the same guy.
They're not the same person.
Lisa, you agree?
Yeah.
Lisa's like I feel like a nerd sandwich right now.
No, I could see how your reasonings.
Let's talk a little bit about box office. And stare at Robert. And me too, because I thought it was going to do much better.
I thought so too.
Okay, so the box office, why I personally feel it's not performing well.
The haters. Well, you have to mention them.
Okay, I will. Okay, so there's several reasons, and you can mention them as well. There's several reasons this movie's not doing as well, and it's not. I 100% do not think it's Star Wars fatigue. We used to have Rebels once a week.
Yeah, and it did really well.
Because I used to have. I don't watch Rebels. Never. I didn't get into Rebels.
We watched some of it.
But then was it my thing?
No,
I used to watch it.
I'll tell you why I don't like Rebels. Okay, before I get to it. Rebels is a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with cartoons. What made Star Wars special, the original, when I saw it in the theater, is the cartoon came to life. To me, I'm sorry, I know this is all subjective, and you could disagree with me, but going back to animation is regression to me. I know animation. I know that's bad to say because animation is awesome art. But I grew up with cartoons. I grew up with Superman animated. To see Christopher Reeve actually fly, that was what made it amazing. To see all this stuff become real, that's what really made it amazing. That being said, I do like what I've seen in Rebels. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where were we at? Box office, right?
Box office.
Okay, so there's several reasons. It's not fatigue. Marketing was a little off here. I felt like 3 months before the movie, the first trailer, that's very cutting it short. Fans came out of this movie liking it. Mm-hmm. We were at the Chinese theater; it was packed.
Same at El Cap, just across the street. Same.
And I gotta be honest with you guys. I love the Star Wars fandom, but they're the most pickiest mofos ever. Okay,
Star Wars fans are some of the biggest jerks.
And everyone coming out of the Chinese theater was like, I asked them after, okay? I go, what do you think? Expecting to hear, oh, dude, terrible? They were like, yeah. So there was no reason why Disney and Lucasfilm shouldn't have been, what is that? Prouder of this film. Did you hear something?
I did.
Yeah.
Should it have been prouder? Should have shown more of the movie, more trailers, more marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Or earlier marketing. I know it had production issues, but also there's the fan backlash.
Yeah.
The haters.
They hate it from The Last Jedi. That feel like they wanted to see Luke Skywalker fight. They were calling for a boycott of this film. I don't know how effective that is, personally.
Well, I still think even with I've always said with horror movies, you have the built-in fan base. Star Wars fans, you have the built-in fan base. Same with horror movies. What draws a lot of the box office and what makes the box office successful is casual fans, bringing in the casual fan. That even goes for like.
But the casual fans liking it.
Yeah, I even say that like for sporting events, like pay-per-views. The casual fan is what makes a pay-per-view successful, like boxing or something, MMA.
Yeah.
And that goes. I think that goes the same for Star Wars movies. Horror movies. You have the built-in fan base who's gonna watch it either way. Where they draw, where these movies make a lot of money is when you get repeated viewings, or you get the casual fan who wants to see it because of the name, because the way it's marketed, because of what they've seen in commercials. So I think this one just isn't drawing in like the casual fan. You have I don't even think like the Star Wars fan who's trying to do the whole boycott thing. I don't even really think that's going to affect it that much. I don't think so, because I still think that Star Wars fan is going to watch it. They may not say they're going to watch it, or they may say, nah, it's crap, I'm not going to see it, or it's terrible. But I just don't think it's getting the casual fan. I think that's where it's hurting it, because it's not a Skywalker saga. It's not part of the trilogy set. It's a standalone film.
It's probably going to be one where they're going to watch it on Blu-ray when it comes out, kind of thing.
Blu-ray doesn't make up for the box office. So I heard that the
I know that, but that's probably where a lot of people are going to see it, because they're going to be like, well, some people say they like it, but I'll wait for it to come on Blu-ray, so they don't.
Someone also brought up the thing that Labor Day is not a good time to...
Memorial Day?
Memorial Day is not a good time to release a film. So check it out. So I got Amanda Gonzalez says, I went with a group of 7 and had a great time. Robert Knott Garcia, I'm looking at you. Someone said, Click My Vid said that everyone applauded at his theater after.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I had an El Cap theater across the street from the TCL Chinese.
Okay, but look, if you're getting this kind of response from the film, because I'm on my Facebook, okay, and I'm looking at people saying, "Yeah, I love the film. I love the film."
Right.
Weeks before this, I was going on the Star Wars Facebook, and people were like, "Oh no, I don't like I don't like the guy is playing Han Solo. I have no interest in this film." After the film showed, all the comments are like, "This was great. I love the film. I swear." Mm-hmm. Go on there and check out. I love the movie. It was great. At one point, when the marketing sees that the negativity, they gotta put in their money to be proud of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, in a way, maybe to counter the negative, right?
The negative, yeah.
And I kind of feel like that wasn't as strong as it should have been. Maybe they were fearful of the reshoots and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's not a bad movie. It's enjoyable. It's fun. But for me, it's not an event movie. It's not like a movie we've been waiting for. Like say we're already starting to count down for the next movie for episode 9 next year. So it's not at that level. Maybe because it's not, like I said, not part of the trilogy series, but yeah, it's not getting the box office numbers that it normally would get. And actually, Memorial Day weekend is like historically the kickoff to the summer.
Yeah, but
movies.
Summer's already going to wind down.
Yeah, because Avengers came out
Yeah.
early. Avengers came out in April.
Jurassic Park is the next one. That's going to be a monster.
Well, we have Incredibles is coming out next.
Yeah.
So Incredibles, from what I've seen, it looks really good, really, really good. So
Has nothing to do with that you were at Pixar eating free food?
no, it actually legitimately looks good.
It looks good.
It legitimately.
I gotta
looks
be
good.
honest with you. Incredibles is, I gotta say right now, it's probably my favorite Pixar.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite. Yeah, one of my favorite movies.
It was the superhero movie before the superhero movies were out.
Right.
Uh,
That's one of Disney's
so-
first superhero movies. 2004, I think it came out. So
Ant-Man and the Wasp, that's another one.
that's coming out too.
So now the boycotting people are all rejoicing thinking they did it.
I can't stand.
No, I don't think it's them. I just think it's just yeah.
You know what's funny, and everyone watching right now, I want you to listen to this logic, okay? And if I'm wrong here, and you too as well. So when The Last Jedi came out, because everyone worships Rotten Tomatoes, right?
Yeah, that's like
Yeah, they can't think for themselves.
right. Yeah.
It had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, Last Jedi. And then after these people, the backlash, they're like, Rotten Tomatoes is full of it. You know, the reviewers are paid off. It's all BS. They're not. Blah, 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 blah. It's just their opinion. It's paid off. It's paid off. Don't listen to them. It's 100% Last Jedi trash. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Solo comes out, and it has 70s.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's 71.
And those same guys and gals are going, look, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't like it. It must be trash.
It's trash.
So which one is it? It's like the same people that do this, and I hate this. So people want to look at George Lucas, right? And they want to say, oh, Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie ever because George had nothing to do with it, right?
Yeah. Written by Loris Katston.
Yeah, so then they turn around and they say Kingdom of the Crystal Skull sucked because Lucas produced it. And it's like, bro, so you want to discredit Lucas for producing Empire Strikes Back, like saying he had nothing to do with it, but you want to give him the credit for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for not being good. So it's like, you can't have both ways, bro.
It's looking for a scapegoat.
It's negative.
Yeah.
Negative tends to travel faster or more than a positive.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
I asked Jeremy Bullock, the original Boba Fett, I go, how many times was Lucas on set? He goes, all the time.
No, I've heard he was on set, like, all the time.
So Lucas can't, he had nothing to do with Empire Strikes Back. So, like, basically, Irving Krisher could have said, hey, dude, we're going to have, you know, a wax scene, whatever. And Lucas would have been like, cool, you're the director, do whatever you want. No, that's not going to happen.
No.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so it's getting dark out there, right?
Yeah. So, well, the sun's starting to set.
No, it's starting to set. It's not going to be dark yet.
No, not yet.
So Amanda Gonzalez also brought up a good point. That a 20-something-year-old Han wouldn't be pretty different than a 30-ish. Yes, we talked about that. I think he'd be more of a jerk in his 20s.
I would think so.
Yeah, because the older you get, the more, like, I don't know, calmer you get, I guess. So he wouldn't be. So
our stance is 20-ish year old Han Solo would be, I think, would be much more arrogant, much more brash, not really caring about, you know, this like indigenous tribe trying to reserve their own, you know, resource.
Yeah,
he'd be like, hey man, I want the money and we're out. That's what I would think. That's what I would believe, and that's just my thought.
All right, so we're looking forward to see what was. I guess now when the Blu-ray comes out, maybe some deleted scenes.
Yeah,
there was a rumor of Darth Vader being in there.
Deleted scenes and commentary. I'd like to hear what Ron Howard has to say. Hopefully, there's a director's commentary.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So, bottom line, my I give the movie like a 7. I think I said that.
I said that. I also said a 7 too. Somebody asked me at the theater.
Well, for me, the movie was a bit long.
You're right.
It was
did feel the second half
a bit long.
Yeah.
Like it kind of dragged. Like the beginning, like what Louis said that
the part that we both like the most is the one people complaining.
I liked the beginning. Like when the film opened up, it had my attention. It was like wow. But then as it kind of it kind of felt like at some point that it was long. Like it needed to end for me. I don't know about anybody else, but that's how it felt.
I think what I wrote was it's like a steak and there's just a little bit too much fat on it. Needed to trim the fat a little bit. That's all it was.
I don't eat steak, so I don't know.
Those chicken nuggets were good though.
Those vegan chicken nuggets.
Some vegan chicken nuggets. Wow, they
They
were
were
legitimately
good, right?
good. Yes, they were.
All right. So basically, Solo gets a 7, which is good. It's entertaining. Chicken nuggets get a 10.
Mm-hmm. Vegan chicken nuggets.
Vegan chicken nuggets. I don't think they're called vegan chicken nuggets, but whatever they're called. But anyways, you're going to be back for the Nerd Report tomorrow?
Yes, we're back tomorrow. Sorry, everybody, we didn't get a chance to do it last week. But we are back tomorrow, 7 p.m. And I got some giveaway stuff from Pixar.
Giveaways tomorrow. Nerd Report podcast.
Amanda and I.
Amanda and you. No.
She'll be in Arkansas on tour.
She is. You're in Arkansas on
Yeah,
tour.
I'll be in Arkansas. I'm leaving.
So
for Arkansas
Robert Garcia,
Tuesday.
Lisa, Grey Wolf Grayson. My name is Lewis. Don't forget to check out tomorrow's Nerd Report podcast. Watch Amanda make Robert E. Crow because Deadpool 2 was a bigger movie.
I concede.
Like
I do
this.
concede. I know, I'm just going to sit there like this.
For those of you who are over 21, could listen how many times Amanda says Star Wars fatigue, you take a shot. And there you go. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We're out.
Thanks, guys.
Subscribe, share, love, hit the notification button. Peace.